So today we are going to learn how to plant our kidney bean plants for our lab experiment. And in your lab kit, you should have gotten several different items. You should have 2 pots. You should have gotten a bag of soil. And you should have gotten 2 separate Ziploc bags with seeds in them. Now, one of them just has 3 corn seeds. Set that aside for now. That will be for a different experiment. And the other bag had 3 corn seeds in it also, though they are different shape, and 4 red beans. Okay. So those red beans are the kidney beans that we will be planting today. Those corn seeds, put back into the Ziploc bag, close it, and this is going to, once again, be for a different experiment. Now, a few things you want to start with. One, you should have some containers to go underneath the pots. Pots do have holes in the bottom, and so we don't want water to go all over your house wherever you happen to place these 2 pots. Once you have your 2 containers, which can be containers like this, or bowls, or takeout containers, just have them ready. The next thing you're going to want to do is take your bag of soil and open it up. Now, this soil is fairly dry, and because of that, you want to add some water to it. Now, this is something you can do at the sink, but for ease of videography, I have a container of water right here. And I want to put water into the bag, Ziploc it shut, and then kind of massage that water into the soil. We want to make sure that the soil is somewhat damp, but not so wet that it's like a soup. Okay. And once that happens, you can also double check. I think a little bit more water is needed right there. Once this is done, we will transfer the soil to the pots. And you want to divide the soil about 50-50 between these 2 pots. We won't be measuring that with a ruler, but you can eyeball it pretty easily. Now, what I usually will do is take the pot and just stick it in the bag and fill it with soil, however much it needs. Like that, and then I will do that with the other pot also. Or you can take your bag and pour it out into the pot, whichever one you feel most comfortable doing. Okay? Either way is perfectly fine. Okay, so I got all the soil out, and I may have had a little bit more soil in my bag than in yours. And you can definitely see why I have paper down on my counter, just in case I spill everywhere. But once that is done, it should look something like this, but fairly loose. And I want to press that down to have that soil have a little bit more contact in between everything, okay? And I'm gonna do that with both pots. Okay. And you're going to want to take your pots and poke holes into them. Each pot will have 2 holes. And with these red kidney beans, they need to be put into the soil and buried between 1 and 1.5 inch. So, I didn't bring a ruler with me, and not expecting a ruler this week. It's usually about a little past your first knuckle, all the way to your second knuckle going down. Okay, so somewhere right in here is how deep you want to plant these kidney beans. And so I'm going to take this, kind of have an idea of how deep I want, and you can see I'm putting holes on opposite ends of the pot. And so hopefully you can see those holes right there. I'm going to do that with both pots. And so remember, I'm just going halfway between my 2 knuckles there. So I have my holes all set. And then in each one of these, I'm going to drop one of these red kidney beans, push it to the bottom, and then I'm going to cover those up with the soil like thus. And then I am going to do the other pot, just like this, and cover those up. And so now you shouldn't be able to see those kidney beans at all. Okay. And remember, 2 kidney beans per pot, and those are the only seeds we're planting. Those corn seeds, as a reminder, are for another experiment. At this point, I will put them into the 2 different containers that I brought to help it so it won't leak water everywhere. And I'm going to take the water, just go to the sink, and I'm gonna water these a little bit more. I'm gonna do that because I want to make sure that the soil is in contact with the seed, and by watering them, that kind of helps push everything down around that seed. And that seed is going to need moisture in order to germinate. So it needs to be buried, and it needs to have moisture. Now at this point, you can stick a plant tag into each pot. I did forget to bring the plant tags home with me though, but you do have 2, one orange and one red. And at this point, you are going to need to find places to put your pots. One pot is going to go into the sunlight, and so it should go into a window if you can find a spot in your house or apartment, dorm to do that. If not, just make sure it's at least out in the light. The second pot you are going to want to put into the dark, okay? And so that could be a cabinet, preferably if you use a drawer, once these plants start to actually grow, that drawer may not have enough room for them. So try to find a nice dark spot, maybe a closet that you can put your second pot into. Now there's going to be a worksheet online also, so pay attention to your email and you'll see where all that information is going to be kept. And there will be several things you're going to want to upload by Sunday at 11:59 p.m., including a picture of your pots in their habitat. So the one that's going to be in the light, show me what that looks like, and then your other pot, show me where this dark spot that you found for that particular pot. And for the one that goes in the dark, you really don't want light to strike it unless on a normal basis. If it's in a closet and you open it once or twice a day, that's fine, but you don't want light to actually reach it for the majority of these plants' lives. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can contact me and we'll go over it, and I will see you guys in class.